morning and welcome to Onua the Tiger. I'm Luke Teal.
And I'm Owen Pixler.
This semester, electric buses were introduced to the district. And compared to the diesel buses, these new ones have some benefits. We go to Joseph Tilahan with the full scoop.
New electric buses have arrived and are now being used by the district this semester under the zero-emission school bus plan. These new buses can be identified by the green logo of the Bluebird Corporation sitting above the doorway. The district received various grants which allowed them to obtain the buses at a fraction of the price.
Yeah, so what the state ended up providing different grants as well as different local agencies providing additional funding to help us move more towards fuel-efficient school buses, and so particularly electric school buses. And so we've been trying to get a plan of not necessarily having our entire fleet be electric, but have additional school buses that are electric.
According to Director of Transportation Lakhi Singh, the main goal of the plan is to reduce carbon emissions, among other things.
The goal was mostly, to provide the clean air, and then plus, save money on diesel, and plus, our diesel buses were quite old. Some of our buses were like 2002, so we wanted to replace those buses. So it was perfect timing to replace those buses with the zero emission buses.
But on the other hand, electric buses have a significantly shorter range than their diesel counterparts. This isn't a problem for the everyday travel between school and home, but diesel buses will surely remain for the longer field trips.
Most of the school buses only have about a range of about 90 to 100 miles. And so we still have a lot of field trips that we have, like going to the Bay Area or Southern California, that would kind of be difficult if we had to make multiple stops to get it fully charged. But for our normal home to school transportation, it works perfect, as we're just driving, locally. And so the amount of miles, and then we're able to charge it overnight and then it's ready to go the next day.
At the moment, the district's fleet is roughly 40% electric, and you can expect it to remain that way for the immediate future.
As soon as we get the last of our buses delivered, we'll have about 18 school buses that are going to be electric, which is 18 of our 44 total school buses. So it's still around 40% of our fleet. And in the short term, we're planning on keep it pretty close to that until we kind of get used to it. Maybe the technology improves. We feel like that's a good amount.
We're very fortunate, for the district, for our kids, for our community to have these funds available, and we were able to replace all 18 diesel buses.
Thanks, Joseph.
Interested in AVID next semester? Applications are open now for 9th through 11th graders. Put AVID down for an elective next term and fill out the form on the RHS website.
Last Tuesday, we promised more information on the incident that happened at last Thursday's wrestling meet. We are keeping a close eye on the situation and will update on this as soon as there's new information. And now we go to Addison Mayon with sports.
Good morning and welcome to this Friday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Addison Mahon. This past Wednesday, Roseville Wrestling beat Wood Creek with a team score of 56-19. Senior Fernando Garcia was the highlight of the night, as he was in a nail-biting match ending with a 4-4 tie in the third period. He ultimately won his match with a pin against his opponent. RHS Wrestling moves on to sectionals this weekend after winning their last match of the season. Check into @EOT Sports on Twitter for locations and times. In other sports news, RHS boys basketball also had a game on Wednesday against Bella Vista. The Tigers came home with a win of 51-43, although Bella Vista was leading the game 5-0. Roseville took the lead and never looked back. Senior Clark Nielsen once again balled out and led the Tigers with 14 points overall, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals to win the game. Roseville is now 15-8 overall and 4-3 in league. Tonight is our Casaba game. Roseville is entering 15-8 and 4-3, while Inderkum is coming in at 13-6 overall and first in league at 6-0. Roseville's player to watch is junior Ren Marsh. Because Inderkum is a very physical team, Roseville needs to shoot well in general, and Marsh is due for a big game. Inderkum's player to watch is Taylon Goodman. He is the most physical and gets to the paint. He leads the team in rebounds and is second in points. Student government will be giving out a prize to anyone who can guess the exact amount of points Roseville will score in the game tonight against Inderkum. Scan the QR code on the screen to guess your amount. And finally, last night, both boys and girls soccer tied Antelope 0-0, while girls basketball lost to Antelope 60-28. And that's all in your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more at the Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. And now we go over to entertainment.
Thanks, Addison. Today, the brand new Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth drops. It's the 8th mainline game in the Yakuza franchise, and so far it's been getting excellent early reviews, with every single review I've seen giving it nearly perfect reviews. Infinite Wealth keeps the franchise's goofy tone, but is able to whip out its serious moments when needed. Infinite Wealth looks like it'll be a game that RPG fans will need to check out. Recently, Netflix came out with a brand new anime called Delicious in Dungeon. The show is based on the manga the same name by Ryoko Kui, and it follows a party of adventurers descending the floors of a mysterious dungeon, eating nothing but food that they made from the monsters they find. Delicious in Dungeon combines two of my least favorite genres in anime, cooking and fantasy, and they do it really well. Delicious in Dungeon manages to avoid the pitfalls of cooking manga by actually being interesting and not just pretty drawings of food. Watching them fight for their food is really entertaining, and it makes the food feel like it's something substantial. Another thing Delicious in Dungeon has going for it is its cast. Every party member is lovable and they bounce off of each other perfectly. And the show is actually funny. I can list on one hand the amount of comedy anime that are actually funny, and I'm glad to say Delicious in Dungeon added another finger to that hand. In other Netflix news, WWE made a $6 billion deal to exclusively stream Monday Night Raw on their platform. The change won't take place until the beginning of 2025. That's all for A&E today. I'm Brady Hendricks. Now we go back to news.
Thanks, Brady. An RHS student has a passion for spreading Latino culture. We go to Jaden Truong for more.
Michelle Esparza is a senior at Roseville High School who is president of the Latino Student Union. She has a passion for her Latina culture and hopes to share it with the school.
I feel like it's important because you'll get used, wherever you go, I feel like being used to like diversity and stuff, being able to connect with other people who might not be the same as you, having like a connection with other ethnicities that like you can learn new stuff about their culture.
When Michelle was introduced to the Latino Student Union, she realized what importance the message of LSU could possibly have for the students at RHS.
The president at the time, she explained me what the concept of LSU was, and that it was about, embracing, educating, and just celebrating Latino cultures and stuff. And I just was really interested in that.
Michelle Esparza thinks learning about Latina culture isn't exclusive. She wants students to know that no matter what background you come from, you can join LSU and learn about Latina culture.
They assume that like it's just a Mexican club, or like you can't join if you're not Mexican and stuff like that. But like literally, like anyone can join. Like you don't even gotta be Latino to join. Like you can be like Asian or white. Like we got that type of variation in our club.
Esparza is helping host a dance called the Baile that Roseville students can attend. She believes this would be a good way to introduce Latino culture to all students.
We have the Baile coming up. It's gonna be on April 5th. And it's going to be in the cafeteria. We're talking about decorations and stuff like that, like how the theme is going to be.
While Esparza also helped host the Baile, she also helps host other events for her club to help fund her passion for sharing Latino culture at the school.
Right now we're trying to do like just more fundraisers, and like we want to do like team building type of stuff, like with our club, like so that our members get to like, like build connection and stuff like that, so that there's like a greater bond, like it's not just like, okay, doing fundraisers or like events and stuff like that. It's also like our members, like it's like a family, like we all like love and support each other.
Thanks, Jaden.
And that's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger.
And remember, we're always on at eyethetigernews.com. See you next time.